Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Minecraft. It is episode 114, man. I cannot believe I've been doing it this long. Obligatory, I have to say that every time, and I guess one thing I haven't done in these Let's Plays so much is chop some wood. There's a lot of wood here in this forest of wood. I'm just, taking this axe and just cutting it down. There's birch wood here, I think I've seen birch trees in real life. There's oak wood here, It's very strong, nice wood. That's very thick and long sometimes, I planted acacia trees like over there, right? You can see them there. There's a jungle there, I'm just chopping wood, just chopping wood. It never did me any good though. I don't want to knock on wood. I just want to chop on wood. Okay, that's all I want. I just want to chop wood. Okay. Come on, man. Why is that the intro bit? Why is that what I had in mind for the intro bit? I don't know. Dude, okay, what's the intro bit? Oh, let's just frickin' talk about Taylor Swift. No one has ever done that before. Oh my god. Dude, I remember this Let's Play has been going on for 5 years. Do not go back to those 2020 episodes. Maybe watch episode 9. Yeah, 9 is fine. But do not watch those episodes. But I remember the third part I uploaded was me talking about Folklore coming out. And it's been 5 whole years since then, man. Man, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just a thing, I might be getting a little sentimental since, I guess, another thing, personally, is that this is, the last, Let's Play I am recording, when I'm at my current age. So I'm currently 24 years old, and in just under 72 hours or like 48 hours I am going to be a year older than that. So yeah, this is the last part before I turn 25, and it's like, damn, like I've been doing this for a while, haven't I? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Taylor Swift has been releasing albums since Folklore. She released Evermore. I remember that coming out like late November, early December of 2020. They've been retroactively labeled as Grammy bait albums. They worked, I guess. And then she released Midnights. Todd in the Shadows said that Anti-Hero was his favorite pop song of 2022, which is, I mean, it probably is. Was it? Oh my God, what's the Steve Lacy song? Yeah. Yeah, I'll post it. Yeah, that Steve Lacy song probably should have been the #1 song of 2022. Maybe Heat Waves, but yeah. And then, yeah, Tortured Poets Department came out. I had a episode title that kind of riffed on it. Man, yeah, and now she's a showgirl. It's the life of a showgirl, and people have, I don't know. It seems that like the ragging is kind of, it's now just a little bit more wider than like most of social media. And by social media, I mean Twitter. It's just like, yeah, what is this, man? This is embarrassing, man. You have a song on here that's like a diss at Charlie XCX. You have a song about Travis Kelce's frickin', it's like, come on, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, for me personally, I'm reading some tweets when I like view my For You page for like a total of like 2 minutes, and it's like, okay, all right, guys, look, man, I know negativity is just what is a thing, man. It's like, look, negativity plus like 20% humor gets you 500,000 likes no matter what on Twitter, but it's like, okay, like, please. I don't know. I'm just like, that's the thing about getting older. I'm just kind of over that kind of tweet, I'm just over that kind of, viewing those kinds of tweets is like, ha 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 ha, I'm just laughing out loud at it, I don't know. I just haven't found any of like the actual tweets that are quote comedically ripping on Taylor Swift. Her new album is like funny, you know. I don't know. I feel like I've matured, you know. And like ripping, it's not, yeah, it's just mostly just like, this album sucks so much, you know. It's like, it's not nothing too bad. There's nothing like personally attacking, right? You know, that's the thing. It is just like, you know, this album is not seen as good as Midnight's. I don't think so. So, oh man. But I don't know, the Tortured Poets Department, yeah, I was just thinking about this before I started recording. And like the Tortured Poets Department had songs about Maddie Healy and Joe Alwyn and frickin' Travis. It's like, dude, I don't know. I think the song "But Daddy I Love Him" is about Travis. Maybe it would be about Matt. I don't know. Like there needs to be like a color code of just like, okay, this is what these songs are about. Okay, like it's fine. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Like it's fine to write songs about frickin' other people, you know. Well, in a certain way, obviously. I don't know. Well, it is. You can claim things when you write songs about other people, like insulting them that, you know, may not be 100% true. We've seen that last year, but, you know, I don't know. Again, we just need a color-coded list of just like, okay, these Taylor songs are about these freaking people. And then it ties into like Taylor can only write about her exes, right? And then it's like, well, you know, in 2020, Folklore, one of the best songs she wrote was The Last Great American Dynasty. And it's about like the couple who previously owned her home, right? And like, yeah, like amazing freaking song. Like, yeah, I have a playlist on Spotify. And also, side note, more and more artists are leaving Spotify. Due to, you know, just general, like, Spotify just does not pay artists fairly, and friggin', you know, the current genocide that's still going on in Gaza. But it's like, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it's yeah, I guess that's a side note. But, you know, I still have a Spotify playlist, and like, I put The Last Great American Dynasty as one of the songs I viewed as like the best of the 2020s so far. So I don't know if Taylor's ever gonna release an album within the rest of the decade that's gonna have a song that I deem as like better than that. But I don't know. Yeah, I just really like that song, you know. And again, did I talk about this? I feel like I talked about this before, right? Of just like, yeah, I must have, yeah, because she announced the album like however many months ago. Yeah, it's like Taylor writing nonfiction again. Taylor writing fiction again, right? Like, should she go back to writing songs about fictional characters? Yes. Yes. The answer is. You would think like the album, The Tortured Poets Department, would have like a few songs that are just like, I'm just like making up fiction, you know? And also, fiction is going to be something I talk about in this episode semi-prominently, you know? Yeah. Also, side note to whatever, I finally learned how to, not learned, but just like decided to just put in the 2 seconds of effort to put chapters. So, yeah, you can skip this if you want. I guess this chapter is going to be called Taylor's new album. Yeah, something along those lines. So yeah, you could just skip this section if you want. But if you're still here, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I personally would like to see Taylor go back to the Folklore, Evermore era of songwriting, you know? You know, like No Body, No Crime on frickin' Evermore is about frickin' like it's country tinge, and it's like about frickin' murdering a man. It's like, okay. It's like, did I talk about like, yeah, it has Haim on it, right? And like it has like one of the Haim sisters. One of the funniest parts of that song to me is just like it's explaining the story. It's like, oh, we hid his body. Oh, no one will know. We have an alibi. And then like one of the Haim sisters, I don't know if it's Esty or Alana or Danielle, but it's like one of the just like she's like, she was with me, dude. Like, just like that frickin', I don't know. I just love frickin' those like small little frickin' like vocal flourishes like that, where it's like, it's just in the middle of a song, there's just like a tiny frickin' spoken word part of it. she was with me, dude. It's like you just had to add that. You just had to add that for the flavor of the song, you know? Oh, man. What are some other ones off the top of my head? The beginning of Misery Business. Haley saying, like, play that and snare. The end of the song Teenage Sounds by Neon Trees. Tyler Glenn, at the end of it, it's like feedback from the amp. And then I think, like, he says, like, the song is dead. Something, yeah. Anything else? Any other thing? Not at the end of a song or the beginning of a song. In the middle of a song. There's this Halsey song called Colors. She just says a poem. It's like, you were red and I was blue. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. Something like that. I don't know. There's just something about those, like, spoken word, like, things that aren't too intrusive. Yeah. I talked about the Passion Pit song, Somewhere Up There, right? In the middle of it, it literally is just, I think it is Michael Angelakos just being like, there are 3 kinds of attachment a mother can have, the mother bond with their child. Anxious, avoidant. It's like, okay. And then, yeah, I talked about, yeah, when going over the list of albums, in a previous episode, it was just like, that same song ends with Michael's mom just being like, hi, Mike, I'm in the garden, you know, just I'm in the garden, it's nice, your brother came home, yeah, thanks for calling, talk to you later. Bye. It's like, okay, I don't know. There's just something about like just these like, yeah, like why did he, like the thought process of like what from the artist's perspective, like what emotion do you want to instill from, you know, including stuff like that in the song, you know? Like, what did you know, sometimes it's just like you leave like certain things in, right? Where it's like you count something off like 1, 2, 3, 4, like at the beginning with the drumsticks. But like, I don't know, like Michael Angelakos, I kind of want to know his thought process of like why he decided to like interrupt Somewhere Up There when it was just such a freaking amazingly like freaking earworm mind-numbingly freaking like sticky freaking electronic indie pop song, and it's like it stops. Like it seems like it's gonna go higher and higher, and then it's like oh man, see, I'm going beyond Taylor Swift, man. Look, I was just a gateway. Okay, you want me to read embarrassing lyrics? Okay, sure, man. Oh man, I ain't got to knock on wood. All of that bitchin' wishing on a falling star never did me any good. All over me, it's understood. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. Matize me and open my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my ties. Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet to know a hard rock is on the way. She doesn't need to get married to know. Okay. Oh man, let me read the lyrics to the Charlie XCX diss. Let me see. God, okay, come on, man. This is what I'm resorting to, man. Hey, it's somewhat new, right? I heard you call me boring Barbie when the cokes got you brave. No, okay. Yeah, is she shaming frickin' Charlie XCX for doing drugs, man? Is she? Is that what Taylor's resorting to? I don't know. I'm saying this in a joking manner, okay? I'm saying this in a joking manner, okay? I'm not actually serious, man. I'm not too invested in Taylor Swift releasing, you know, an album that's not that good, okay? God damn, I have frickin' more important things to care about, like WNBA finals, okay? All right, yeah, just all right. The WNBA finals, yeah. We are 2 games in, and if anyone did not know, this is the first WNBA finals that's a 7-game series instead of a 5-game series. So, but the finals is between the Las Vegas Aces, who just had they have had to fight for like everything these playoffs, man. Like they were pushed to the brink by both the Seattle Storm in their first round series and then by the Indiana Fever, surprisingly enough. It took, like the Indiana Fever pushed them to game 5. And just a reminder, the Indiana Fever this season did not have Caitlin Clark, and and they did not have, and in that game 5 they lost Kelsey Mitchell, due to an injury. So, and without Kelsey Mitchell, they pushed the Las Vegas Aces, who are still somewhat in the midst of a dynasty, right? Like, and could be on their path to renewing that soon. So it's like they pushed the Las Vegas Aces, this team, without friggin' Kelsey Mitchell. And Aaliyah Boston fouled out. She got in foul trouble and fouled out like late in the fourth quarter. So they pushed the Las Vegas Aces in that game 5 to overtime. It's like damn. Like, that is just what the Fever did, man. Yeah. So that's how the Aces made the finals. They beat the Storm, and then they beat the Indiana Fever, right? And then the Phoenix Mercury are on the other side. And then the Phoenix Mercury started their run by defeating the defending champion New York Liberty. I think I remember in that game 3 that like Brianna Stewart just went off. She just went crazy in that game, man. She tried to freaking put the Liberty on her back. It wasn't enough, unfortunately. And then in the second round, and this is the interesting one that'll probably spin off into another tangent, but that's related and also relevant and also somewhat important to the state of women's basketball in general. So they, in the second round after the Liberty, the Mercury faced the Minnesota Lynx, who probably were the team that like a lot of people who followed the W thought would make the finals and even like win the championship over the Aces, because the first like third or like half of the season the Aces were like 500 and didn't look like the team they are now. So but like the Lynx all season, this WNBA season of 2025 just looked like a freaking they were a machine, man. They just kept on winning and winning. They were just, they seemed to be on a revenge tour after making it to the finals against the Liberty in the previous season and losing on, somewhat of a controversial referee foul call, so, Cheryl Reeve spoke about how that game was stolen from them, right? Oh, man. So, the Mercury faced the Lynx, and then the Mercury beat the Lynx in, I think, like 4 games, right? Yeah. And one thing to note is that I think the series was tied, and then in a very critical game tree, the Mercury and the Lynx were playing, and then at the very end of the game, I think if I were to crudely remember off the top of my head, I think like Minnesota had a lead and then they gave it up, right? Yeah, they had somewhat of a lead, and they gave it up. The Mercury came storming back in the fourth quarter, right? And then at the very end, there was a play where Napheesa Collier, the MVP until she wasn't, until Asia frickin' stole it from her. Not stole it, not stole it. She walked Napheesa down for it. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh God, please. No Asia Wilson stan come after me, man. I did not say that. I did not say it. That was a slip of the tongue. It was a legit slip of the tongue. I'm sorry. I did not mean to use that word. See, words matter. Okay, words matter. Like Taylor Swift calling, a certain man's frickin', body parts wood. Okay. Like, this is wood. Oh, God. Anyways, Napheesa Collier, there was a play at the very end of that game between the Mercury and the Lynx. It was game 3 of their series. So I think it was a play where, they were inbounding the ball, right? And then, like, Napheesa was grabbing it. And then, it was meant for Napheesa. Napheesa was supposed to catch it, but in the middle of that play, Alyssa Thomas intercepted the inbounds, right? And then in the process, Napheesa ended up getting injured from that play, right? But it obviously was not intentional that Alyssa Thomas wanted to injure Napheesa, obviously, right? It was just that they just happened to collide, and then like Napheesa's ankle got, you know, messed up. And then that's how she got injured. And then the Lynx proceeded to lose that game and lose Napheesa for the rest of the series. And then they lost the game after that, the game to potentially tie it at 2-2. So that's how the Mercury advanced. Another injury related thing with the Lynx in that playoff run is that Dejanay Carrington got traded to the Lynx in the middle of the season after the trade deadline, and then she got injured at the beginning of the playoffs. And a funny thing is that like there were some like videos I saw of like Napheesa and Dejanay like riding on scooters together. They were just on their scooters together. Oh man. Yeah, and then like in response to that play I just described with the inbounds that Alyssa Thomas intercepted, Cheryl Reeve proceeded to just like storm the frickin' court, and she was just so angry, and she had to be held frickin' back, man. I think it was Natasha Heidemann that like tried to hold her back. And like another funny thing, I don't know if I can get this footage, but yeah. I guess just me describing it will have to do. But another funny thing is that she was getting so angry at the referees. She was verbally accosting these whoever the referees were, wherever the referees were. She like just stormed the court, did that, yelled in the referees' faces, right? A referee's face, I don't know. And then she got so upset that Dejanay decided to just hold up a towel, and like that was the strategy of just like maybe you're not gonna see it, maybe you're not gonna see her frickin', you know, as the children say, because I'm getting old, maybe you're not gonna see her crash out, you know. It's like, oh my god, dude, it's like it's like Jesus, man. And then after the game she just went off, you know. And then she said an interesting thing. She says like Napheesa probably has a fracture or something. I don't know if Napheesa ended up actually having a fracture, but she just said that. Just, I don't know, it was just adrenaline, I would assume, right? But yeah, man, Shory was deeply upset, and that's how the Lynx got bounced out of the playoffs. Very brutal ending for them. I tweeted that at the end of the day, they're a team from Minnesota. Oh man, but that's the thing. In Minnesota, like women's, the Lynx were a freaking dynasty, man. Yeah, Maya Moore, who really only played like 8 seasons in the WNBA, but managed to have like a Hall of Fame, like top 5 of all-time level career in those 8 years, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. They won every other year, yeah. Just a quick reminder, the Minnesota Lynx won the WNBA championship in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017. So they won every other year, kind of like the Spurs, but it was like odd years, you know? 2016, the Lynx faced the Sparks, and then that was when like Nneka Ogwumike was on the Sparks and Candace Parker was on the Sparks, and then that was that finals, the Sparks won. There was one other final series where they faced the Indiana Fever, I think. Yeah, with like Tamika Catchings. Yeah. Man, I'm you know, just you know, just sharing what I've learned so far. You know, hopefully I'm a good student. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is all leading to just right before the WNBA finals were supposed to start. Yeah, the Aces are up 2-0 on the Mercury, by the way. Yeah, it's kind of somewhat of like not the big headline from it, you know? It's like the Mercury could have won game 1 against the Aces. I watched the end of that game. It's like Alyssa Thomas missed 2 free throws at the end of the game that were crucial. Oh man, yeah, just, you know, and then I don't know, the Phoenix's game plan going into game 2 was off, and then it led to Jackie Young, you know, frickin' Jackie Young having the quarter of her frickin' life, man, scoring 21 points in the third quarter. I saw, right? It's like, oh my god, dude, Jackie Young, what does Jackie Young do in her free time? Like, I need to know. Like, it seems that she's just someone who's like, I just like the hoop, you know? That seems like just that's her personality of just like, I don't know, I just like hooping. I just like playing basketball. What does Jackie Young do, man? Like, I don't know, man. I don't it's so interesting, like the composition of the aces from a personality perspective, right? Like Asia obviously is their like heart and soul, right? And she has the pink wig. Like when Kelsey Plum was on the team, she brought like fiery energy, so much so that there was a meme that was like freaking Kelsey Plum was freaking Puerto Rican. like she was called the Puerto Rican princess. Like it became a meme like for some reason. Oh man. And then, you know, they also had like Sydney Colson on their team before, like who is like, if you check, like I don't know if she still is on Twitter, but like she is just one of the funniest freaking players in the WNBA. Like she was on the Fever most recently and she tore her ACL. Like I think like it's her second ACL tear, so it's like, yeah, it might be, yeah, but it's like, yeah, she is just one of the funniest freaking people. Yeah, there's like a YouTube video where that the Aces posted on their channel of like, oh, Sydney Colson and Asia Wilson reunite, and then like Asia's just trying to get away from Sydney. Sydney is just extremely funny, man. Just, I don't know, just an extremely freaking funny person, and her tweets are also really funny. She has this show she had a show she did with another player, and she has a podcast, because every player has a podcast, you know? Yeah, oh man. Yeah, I don't know, just all of it to say is that the Aces just have just a collection of personalities, and like I don't really know freaking Jackie Young's personality. Like I don't, like, what brings out this freaking competitiveness in her, you know? Like what, like I don't know, man. Like she's just like, I don't know, she's just like just nice person. She smiles, you know. She isn't like the most talkative person. She isn't the most showy person. She isn't flamboyant at all. She's just like, you know, I don't know. Like there's an L. I don't know, man. I feel like if you're like rooting against the Aces, or if you're rooting for a team that plays the Aces, you must be, I don't know, man. It just must be so frustrating just being like, damn, Jackie Young made another freaking shot, man. Man, yeah. And also, yeah, I guess like to talk about the Aces' route to the finals, and like one of the strategic like changes in their lineup that made a difference is that I talked about Kelsey Plum getting traded to the Sparks, right? So the player they got back for Kelsey Plum was Jewel Lloyd, and Jewel Lloyd was like a multi-time All-Star in Seattle, played alongside Sue Bird, right? And like it was supposed to be that Jewel Lloyd was essentially like the player that was gonna replace Kelsey Plum in the lineup, right? In like the Aces starting lineup. And then like in the beginning, the first half of the season, the Aces weren't doing so well. They were 500, like I said, right? And then it's like, yeah, like the response to the roster change that basically like was the catalyst to setting off this like win streak in their second half of the season of like winning like 17 straight games, was sending Jewel Lloyd, a multi-time All-Star, to the bench for I think this player called Kirsten Bell, right? Yeah, so like because of that change, right? Yeah, I would assume it's other things, but because of that change, right, they went on a 17-game winning streak. And like I don't know, it's interesting how, you know, a player was traded for, right? And it was like, okay, you're supposed to be like one of our big three along with Asia and Jackie Young, right? Like you're supposed to be that, but then like it's somehow not working out, and then their solution is like, okay, you know, you go to the bench, you know. I know, like, I don't know, like I was trying to think of like any NBA equivalent of that, of just like how would that go over, of just like sending, like, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, in 2022 for a certain team in Southern California, you know, that could have been a thing that was done. It was done for a little bit, yeah, the season after they traded for him, but yeah, I don't know. Oh man, yeah, I've explained enough, right? Yeah, the Aces are up 2-0 on the Mercury. Yeah, game 2 was more of a blowout. Game 1 was close. Okay. So, yeah, the real thing I wanted to talk about in relation to it is Napheesa Collier, that player I talked about on the links. Okay, so she was eliminated. Her team was eliminated from the playoffs, and before the WNBA finals started, she had an exit press conference, and she used that time to do what, you may ask? Well, let me just show it to you.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
So she basically just directly called out freaking Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA. And it's like, yeah, it's clear that, you know, yeah, I would take, yeah, she said the WNBA has the worst leadership in the world currently. Yeah, it's like they have the best players and the best fans in the world, but they have the worst leadership in the world, right? And it's like, yeah, it's clear that the bigger story from this is that, yeah, beyond just Napheesa, you know, saying this, it's just that, you know, the WNBA seems headed for a lockout, right? Like, the WNBA players and the owners and, like, you know, the commissioners seem to be very far apart on, like, the CBA, negotiating their new CBA, right? And, like, if they can't come to an agreement under CBA, then there's no league, basically, right? And that's the thing, it's like, it's this whole, like, yeah, a work stoppage seems to be looming, right, for the WNBA, and it's tied into just so many things of, like, them wearing shirts during the All-Star game, you know, of, like, saying, like, pay us what you owe us, right, and then frickin' someone being like, as someone who, no one wants the WNBA to succeed more than me, and then just arguments of just, like, from certain people on social media, just being like, well, you know, they should realize that all these franchises are losing money. It's like, yeah, all that. And then, yeah, it's the whole thing. And then just just when you know, the WNBA players just wanting, like, a fair frickin' split, you know? Like, and fair doesn't mean the exact amount of the NBA, which is basically 50-50 or 49-51. But currently, the rev split is that 9% of the total revenue goes to the players, right? I think that's the number being floated around, right? And that's just, you know, tremendously low. It would be nice if it was a little bit higher, right? I don't know. That's the whole, yeah, it's the whole thing of just, like, I feel like most people would agree, right? If you're making jokes about, like, oh, well, Caitlin Clark can just frickin' work as a frickin' high school teacher and make that same amount of money. It's like, okay, we, yeah. Oh, man, I'm just getting older, man. It's just like, damn, dude, was that supposed to be a joke? You know? Oh, man, dude, I'm getting old, man. I don't know. I'm just, but yeah, it's like, yeah, instead of just being like that, you could just be like, look, I see that I probably, yeah, even those people who make those same jokes would agree that frickin' the WNBA players should be paid more, right? Yeah, even like the, you know, the person who hosted the ESPYs this year, right? He would agree that even though he watches 0.0001% of any freaking women's basketball game ever, probably, right? It's like he would agree too, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems to be a common thing that no matter where you stand, like the agreement the general agreement should be they should get paid more, right? The revenue split should be higher, not as high as the NBA, because that's it's but just like just general, like just higher than 9%, you know. Man, should WNBA salaries be higher? The max salary in the WNBA be higher than like 100K or 200K? It's like, yeah, probably, right? Should players like A'ja Wilson probably be making like $1 million per year, like at least, like if you want to pay them what they're worth, right? Yeah, like that's the thing. That's what I believe. You know, I don't know. It's just an opinion, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it's all of this is like Napheesa is kind of bringing to light the divide that the WNBA players have with the ownership, and freaking it seems to be very contentious, these negotiating CBA talks, right? And like, you know, what she said, that Cathy said, of just like Caitlyn should be thankful that the WNBA gives her the platform, you know, and because without the WNBA to give her that platform, she wouldn't be able to have like this many millions of like off the court sponsorship deals or whatever, you know. It's like these players should be tanking their luck. They should be on their knees about the freaking media rights deal I freaking got for them. It's like, yeah, it's very clear, you know. That's the thing. And like the funny thing is that like, I don't know. I was also thinking that like, yeah, I also probably can't find the footage for this too. But like, just believe me on this, okay? There was literal footage, right, of during the WNBA All-Star break, right, of Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, literally freaking dancing with two of Napheesa Collier's teammates, the stud buds, Natasha Heidemann and Courtney Williams, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, that's the thing, yeah. And then like, yeah, Bomani Jones, the person I mentioned a lot on these episodes recently, said it's like, look, these players have to remember that woman is not your friend, you know? Yeah. The commissioner is not, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they're not, she's not necessarily supposed to be your friend, you know, that's the thing. And like the players are, you know, actively against her in these negotiating talks, right? Yeah. And it seems like A'ja Wilson agrees, and like most of the WNBA, you know, is sides, you know, with Napheesa on this. Is that like, yeah. Also, the other sticking point is that there's this other league. The WNBA wants to limit or place limits, or you know, they don't necessarily like the idea that WNBA players can play in Unrivaled, which is this league that starts in January, right? That like is a women's basketball league that pays players, you know, a fair amount of money that prevents them from having to go overseas to countries like Russia, you know. It's held in Miami, right? At least the inaugural season was. It included a bunch of W players: Angel Reese, Brianna Stewart, Aaliyah Edwards, you know. Yeah, Arike Gumbawale, I think, yeah, and Napheesa Collier. It was started by Napheesa Collier, I think, and her husband, right? Along with Brianna Stewart, right? They were like partners, business partners in that. Yeah, it's like, and then the W doesn't like that idea, you know. It's just like, yeah, look, your main focus should be the W, you know. And that's also been a thing with like international players like Gabby Williams, right? There was like a podcast I listened to with Sue Bird where she was talking about that, of just like how like Gabby Williams got suspended by the team she was on at the time for like for not showing up in time to training camp when she was like playing for her playing for the French national team. It's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a whole thing that needs to be sorted out, you know. And yeah, I don't know, just labor, you know, and like, I don't know. It's like the people who aren't on the side of the labor in this, it's like, why? Like, why aren't you? I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, I like just the general freaking basic agreement. I feel like most 99% of people would have. It's like, is that these should be paid more, right? It's just like the number, right? And I feel like, you know, there's some people on social media who are misinformed or willfully ignorant, or, you know, intentionally ignorant, that are just like, well, I mean, if they're gonna ask for the same amount as NBA players, that's just ridiculous. It's like, yeah, it's like they're not. Like, they're not. They're not doing that. Like, it's I don't know. It's like, oh man, I don't know. It's like they comment on that, and it's like, see, this is why that I don't. It's like, okay, all right, okay. Oh man, have I talked about this enough, man? How much time did I burn talking about this, man? You know, it's almost an hour long, the recording, so yeah. I need to cut myself off, man. Yeah, I don't know. Napheesa kept it short. She she basically laid a diss track on Cathy Engelbert through a written essay. Just really cool, you know, just, yeah, very formal. In the middle of it, she's like, I'm out of breath, man. I had to ride my scooter here. Yeah, it's just, yeah, Napheesa's comments are just like, you know, enlightening us on the current state of the negotiations of the CBA, of the W players, right? And it's not looking freaking like they're close, you know, they're very, very far apart, it seems like, right? Yeah, so, yeah, I guess that's a thing to watch out for if anyone watching this is a fan of women's basketball, but I don't know if you would be, you know. You like it when it's in a manga, right? You like it when it's freaking this girl named Shinatsu doing it, maybe, right? Maybe you'd be willing to watch, oh man, you know, women play basketball if it's like that. I am. But I also watched the freaking WNBA, at least I've at least watched the playoff games, right? I watched at the end of that friggin' Lynx Mercury game. Yeah, I saw it as it happened. I saw Cheryl Reeve just frickin' get so damn pissed and storm the court, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Is there any larger point to this? You know, it's like, wow, is he on the side that these W players should be paid however much more? It's like, yeah, I would assume. I would think so. So, yeah. Oh man, anything else from that before, you know, anything else? Yeah, anything else just W related that's fun to mention? Oh yeah. Yeah, also like another team of it, yeah, the other team of it that came directly from Napheesa's words is just the state of officiating, right? Like, the officiating in the WNBA is highly, highly inconsistent. And it seems that, yeah, the interesting thing about it is that, like, from people in the know about the W, they say it's a much more physical league than the NBA, right? You know, like, there's a lot less flopping in the WNBA. And it's like, yeah, like, no, like, if you want video evidence, I have procured from social media Exhibit A, which is Paige Beckers going to the basket, and she literally got hacked by this player twice, like on her chest and on her arm, right, as she was going to the basket, and she ends up making the frickin' shot anyway, and it's set to frickin' gospel music. Oh man, it's like, dude, like, just looking at that play, right, and just like Paige just making that shot anyway, just like, my god, dude, you know, I don't know, like, yeah, just just seriously, man, I can see why frickin' people call Paige the GOAT, man. I could see. Oh man, it's like she is, yeah. She's destined to be an all-time great, right? It's like if you know, if everything goes right, you know, if everything goes according to plan, she's probably gonna be an all-time great W player, you know. Oh man, so yeah. I guess another interesting women's basketball related thing is that, yeah, AZ Fudd, I talked about her having a podcast, right? And one of her recent podcast guests was her freaking head coach, Geno Ariema. And like one interesting like snippet of that podcast that I found really interesting was that there was like at the very end of it, they invited like a former UConn player to ask him a question, and it was this player called Stefanie Dolson. Yeah, I think she's on the Mystics currently, but yeah, I think she was playing for like the Chicago Sky, you know, before then. But yeah, So like Stefanie Dolson like shows up, she's on FaceTime and she asks like, did you baby me because I cried too much, right? Yeah, she asked something akin to that, right? And then Geno, yeah, I don't know, it's like someone posted just that clip on social media. I don't know if I probably can't find it, but it's like, yeah, it's just like Geno is just giving like a really honest answer of like, no, I did not. Like, yeah, and then like he's just like, true, that answer just, it like showed just like how much like care and like love he has for his players, right? And just like how much he remembers about his players, you know? Yeah, it's really like you could see why like all the UConn players have nothing but nice things to say about Geno. Like from like a overall standpoint, obviously there's like Geno could be an asshole sometimes, but it's like they all come out of it being like, no, like he is like an amazing guy, he's an amazing coach, you know? Like that's the thing. He kind of is just like that strict older teacher where it's like you walk in being like, it's like, ah shit, ah man, it's gonna be him, right? You know, speaking from experience here, obviously. But like, that was freshman year for me. Yeah, if I were to date myself, that was freshman year. I feel like it was the last class of my freshman year, right? The first day of my freshman year, my last class was biology. The teacher walks in, man. Man, and it was this old freaking guy, right? And it was like, yeah, like he introduced himself very kind of like, I'm mean, man, I'm strict, man. It's like, you do not want to freaking mess with me. And then it's like by the end, it's like, oh no, he's everyone's favorite teacher. So it's like, oh yeah, makes sense. Kind of like that. That's the kind of like energy that Geno Auriemma gives off, you know, of just like, yeah, he can be really tough on you. He can be an asshole sometimes, but like you'll always come out of your UConn experience just loving him, you know? Like Paige did, AZ probably does, right? Like even like players who weren't even on the team that long, like Caitlin Chen probably has like memories like that too, right? Yeah, like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, obviously. Maya Moore probably has memories of that. Brianna Stewart, you know. Just like, yeah, just all these freaking players. Katie Lou Samuelson, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the specifics of what Geno said in response to Stefanie Dolson asking that question, but it was just like, yeah, it was just something like, yeah, no, I did not baby you. Yeah, because I knew that, yeah, I think one of the things he said was like, out of all the days that you were playing with us, you know, there were only, I could remember only like 2 days that you weren't like truly like playing like yourself or something, you know, something like that. It's like, I knew you were like doing your best, or like I knew you were friggin' I knew who you were, basically, something. I understood you, you know, and that it just, you know, kind of was like, oh yeah, no, that's a very sweet freaking thing that Geno is like even in his old age, in his 70s, it's like he can still be a warm person, you know, like that warmth comes out, you know, when you really poke it out of him, you know, yeah. Oh man, yeah, okay, is that all the women's basketball stuff I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I gotta freaking talk about other stuff, man. Yeah. Oh man, there's more to this story. Am I telling the story well? The story of this podcast, or no, Let's Play episode. Another slip of the tongue. The story of this podcast / Let's Play, but really Let's Play episode. Yeah. Am I telling the story well? Who knows? That's a hint for what I'm gonna talk about after this commercial ad break, but it's really just a cut. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, the next part of this story, is called something. Yeah, it is simply titled Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT. Why do I feel that way? Oh god. Okay, alright. I teased at the end of last episode or something like that when I was talking about reading We're Never Getting Home by Tracy Badua. I'm like, yeah, what am I reading next? Oh, it's a book by an author that I probably should have read a while ago, or like that. Yeah, I'm just getting to now. That I feel like it's probably somewhat important for me personally that I get to now. Yeah, and that book is this book called Caramelo by Sandra Cisneros. Yeah, and if anyone did not know, Why wouldn't you know? But yeah, if anyone here does not know their literature, Sandra Cisneros is a Mexican-American author. She is the author of this book called The House on Mango Street. And just a little fact personally about The House on Mango Street, it is my favorite novel of all time. I think it is one of the best works of literature, one of the best novels ever written. I don't know why anyone would not have that opinion. I personally, it is a very important book to me. You know, like I don't know. Again, if I were to explain fully the breadth of just like why it's important to me, I would be here for like literally freaking 3 hours. But yeah. Anyways, I guess like the thing was, yeah, I saw that Sandra Cisneros, wrote in addition to like her like short story collection, Woman Hollering Creek, which is just like, like top freaking tier, just probably the best short story collection of all time too. And also her poetry, you know, I've read like a few poems. Yeah, my favorite poem of hers probably is this poem called Loose Woman. There is a great line. There's such a great freaking line. I'm spoiling a poem, but I think it goes either I am the woman or I am the author. Yeah, so it either goes that I am the author of myth and bullshit. True, I authored some of it. Yeah, it's probably woman. Yeah, I am the woman of myth and bullshit. True, I authored some of it. And that's just my god, dude, just at a bar, man, a bar. And that's how I feel reading this freaking book, man. It's like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not done with the book yet, but I feel like I need to get all my thoughts on it out right now. Just in this episode. It's just, it is just brilliant, man. Caramelo is just brilliant. It is what just exactly what I'd expect from someone who wrote my favorite book of all time, right? It is just her writing, her prose. It like, yeah, again, like I was like 30, 40, 50 pages into this book, and I was thinking in a somewhat joking sense, you know, trying to compare writing to basketball, because that's often what I do. I love comparing things to basketball. and I was just thinking, Sandra Cisneros, she's the GOAT. Like, she is the GOAT, man. And what do I mean by that? Maybe not like greatest like novelist of all time. I don't know. Like maybe not greatest fiction writer of all time, but I don't know. Yeah. But like to me, kind of, yeah. That's kind of what I'm implying. You know, like that's kind of what I'm implying by that. You know, what do I mean by the GOAT, man? I think, again, to reference something interesting that, I remembered from listening to Bomani Jones, right? He, like, was talking about rappers, right? And, like, in the context of, like, rappers, it's like, okay, like, if we want to find out who the actual best at rapping is, it's like we, like, we find, you know, the rapper in question, right? And we're like, we just give them a mic, right? We give them a mic. Or like not even a mic. We just tell them, rap. Just do it. Just go rap. Like no studio, no freaking beat, nothing. Just rap. Do it right now. And it's like, who is the best at doing that? Who is the best at freaking, like, who would come out with the best freaking version of like what comes out next, right? And it's like, that's kind of what I feel about Sandra Cisneros, right? If you just ask me like, who writes the best prose I've ever read, right? What author has written the best prose I've ever read? Like the best sentences I've ever read, the best strings of words and combinations of words I've ever read. The answer is so clear. It's her. It's Sandra Cisneros. It's like the line, Mango says goodbye sometimes, you know? We didn't always live on Mango. Before that, it was Loomis, then was Keeler, then was Paulina, you know? But what I remember most is Mango, sad red house, you know, the house I belong to but do not belong to. Yeah, and, you know, it's like bar for bar for bar, right? And I'm saying bar for bar to mean like sentence for sentence for sentence, right? It's like, Yeah, like Caramelo, if were to talk about the book I'm reading right now, right, is like a much longer book, right? It's like 4 times the length of freaking The House on Mango Street, right? I guess if I were to give a brief synopsis, right, it's like this like story of a family, I guess. It's the story of like a family across like generations, right? And it goes back in time and forward in time, right? It's divided into parts. The first part is basically like there's this like girl, yeah, she's like the only daughter of her family, right? She's the youngest of her family. She's called Salaya, right? And like she's the youngest of her family, and then her family of like 6 brothers and one, yeah, and she's the only girl, right? So yeah, her family, her mom and dad, along with along with her uncle and her other uncle and her aunt, right, are all traveling to Mexico City, as they do like every summer, right? But usually it's like the aunts and uncles like go separately and like from them, but it's like this year is different, is that they all go together, right? And they all go and visit her grandmother and she calls her grandmother the awful grandmother, and she calls her grandfather the little grandfather, right? And then it starts out as this somewhat like vacation of like, oh, we've arrived in Mexico City, you know, I've lived in Chicago, you know, my whole life, but like we vacation in Mexico City, so like, you know, I'm somewhat used to it, right? And it's like, yeah, to give examples, it's like, I don't know, not like exact examples, but just the chapter where it first describes like her and family entering Mexico City, it was just sentence after sentence after sentence, word for word for word for word for word, of just the most freaking just description upon description upon description of just like, oh my god, dude, just each freaking sentence, the words just pop out. They're just so vibrant, you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I can freaking like fully do it justice, man. Like, unless I just fully just read out just like what I've read, man. It's like, it's just, I don't know. It's, yeah, she is the GOAT. She is the GOAT, man. She is the best person to ever, she is the greatest freaking person to ever write any string of sentences together in English, you know? It's like she is the GOAT, man. She is the GOAT. Will I take any other answers? Probably not. She is my GOAT, I guess. You know, I guess it, to be more specific, you know, to be more, you know, other freaking people can have different opinions on who their GOAT author is, okay? I am not even gonna be cheeky and freaking be vague about naming names, you know, but it's like, yeah, like, she's the GOAT, man. Like, she is freaking, the sentences, man, of like when they first arrive in Mexico City, of just like, oh, this is what this bread smells like, this is what these houses look like, this is what's on this street, this is what this vendor is selling, they're selling these kind of tacos and they smell like this and they look like this. It's like, this is what this house looks like, you know? And like, funnily enough, like in the book, the house in Mexico City is on this street called Destiny Street. So they refer to it as the house on Destiny Street, is where her like grandfather and grandmother live, right? The house on Destiny Street. Man, it's like, yeah, it's like the descriptions of frickin' the food, you know? And like, yeah, like, I think one of the reasons is it's called Caramelo is like, one, it's just like, you know, like, I think it's like the name of like a candy, right? It's like the shade, it refers to like like a distinct like shade of brown, you know? And also it's referring to like, you know, Mexicans as a people of like being that shade of brown, right? Yeah. But like, there are some Mexicans who have Indian blood in them, have Aztec blood in them, who have like darker skin, and that's the whole thing. And like one of her aunts is called Auntie Light Skin. Like, she refers to her aunt as like another one of her uncles is called Uncle Fat Face. You know, it's like, yeah, Uncle Baby, Uncle Fat Face, Auntie Light Skin. It's like, yeah, the awful grandmother. It's like just those things in general too. Like, it's like, I just needed to get this out, you know, before I turn a certain age, you know? Ooh, the age that's also my enchantment level, yeah. It's like, she is the GOAT, man. Again, I don't know how many times I can say it. Like, I feel like this segment should be just like a whole hour of just me saying that over and over again, right? It's just like, ask any author, right? Like Stephen King, like Stephen, okay, I said I wouldn't name names. I don't know. Stephen King, Becky Albertalli, Ray Bradbury, Thomas Pynchon, you know? It's like, yeah, Fyodor Dostoevsky, right? It's like, Victor Hugo, Arthur Miller, you know? It's like F. Scott Fitzgerald, Ernest Hemingway, frickin' Allie Hazelwood, Morgan Matson, you know? Well, Morgan Matson would be hard, too. But I also said Becky Albertalli, though. But it's like, name any frickin' author, right? It's like, look, some of those authors I really, really enjoy, right? It's like, but if you were to ask me, it's like of any of those authors in like the English language, like Brandon Sanderson, of like J.R.R. Tolkien, George R.R. Martin, right? I just love naming names. I said I wouldn't name names, and I just proceed to name every freaking author in existence. The person who wrote the Wizard series, yeah, Suzanne Collins. It's like, yeah, it's like any author, any freaking English language author, even like other language authors, you know? Like Osamu Dazai or something, right? Jessica Hagedorn even, you know? Well, she writes in English, yeah. It's like, you know, oh man, I just like anyone, any author of just like literature, you know? Anyone who's authored literature, even Shakespeare. It's like, if you were to tell me, well, Shakespeare, I don't know. Shakespeare is different because that's purely not prose, right? Again, I also mentioned Arthur Miller. That's not prose, right? I'm thinking specifically of novels. I'm thinking specifically of prose, right? If you were to ask me, what author in the English language throughout human history would I say has the best prose in existence? It's Sandra Cisneros. Like, not like, there are some authors that are like, okay, like they can come close. Amy Tan, you know, like, yeah, parts of like Wild Meat and the Bully Burgers, you know, by Lois Ann Yamanaka, right? You know, parts of The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, right? Yeah, parts of Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. But it's like, if you were to ask me, like, yeah, right now, it's like, yeah, if you maybe you just make it a contest of just like write a 100-word story, right? I know that like there are authors where it's like, I can't write a story in 100 words. Like, that's way too much. That's like asking me to fit a frickin' like quarter in like a hole that's like 2 like millimeters, right, long, right? It's like, I know, but it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like there are authors like Brandon Sanderson that don't work like that don't think on like a sentence to sentence, word to word level even, right? But it's like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, if you were to make it a contest of just like right now, here's a piece of paper, or here's a typewriter, right? You have like 100 words or 500 words or even 1,000 words. Come up with a story. Which author of all of human English language literature, you know, prose wise, would come up with the best prose? It's Sandra Cisneros. I'm just overly freaking, yeah. Look, man, it's like you have to be somewhat hyperbolic, but I don't think I'm actually being that hyperbolic, right? To me, it's like her prose is just unlike any other, man. It's amazing, man. Just like the fact that freaking all like Caramelo, like The House on Mango Street, is also divided into like short, like sometimes bite-sized chapters, right? Like sometimes the chapters are bite-sized, sometimes the chapters are a bit longer, right? But it's like, you know, you can have like chapters that are like one, like just a page and a half long, and they can still be filled with as much like depth and like breadth as like a chapter that's like 10 pages long in the book, right? It's like, yeah, part one is basically like the family vacation part of it, of just like, oh, we arrive in Mexico City, here's like the tradition and stuff, like here's like us learning about the grandmother and the grandfather, right? and then like they celebrate her father's birthday, yeah, you know, and then part 2 is like, okay, something happens at the end of part 1, and like we're gonna go all the way back, and we're gonna share the backstory of this main character's grandfather and grandmother and how they came to be, and then eventually go to them, her grandmother and grandfather meeting, falling in love or not falling in love, and having a baby, and that baby being her father, and her father going off to America and finding work in America in the US, like having to face all this, you know, whatever, of being a Mexican who doesn't know the language, right? And then, you know, her father meeting her mother, right? And them having her, and then it goes into like the third part, which I'm on now. it's like I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know, just like they're just, yeah, like I especially like reading the first like 50 pages of it, like it was just like, this is brilliant, man. Like I'm just enjoying like reading every sentence, man. It's like, I don't know, I don't think there's that many like it's a very short list of authors where I can say that about, right? Of just, I love reading every freaking sentence. Reading every sentence is a treat, you know? Like every freaking sentence is a treat, man. Like every description she describes of like any sort of food or anything, like what, like a rebozo, you know, which is this like item of clothing, right? And like you know, there's like this item of clothing, this Caramelo rebozo, right? It was just like, you know, just like that keeps on being mentioned as a team, right? It's like, I don't know, it's like the descriptions of it, right? Yeah, I'm also thinking of it of like breaking it down, right? If I want to compare it to basketball again, right? I'm thinking of someone who has a complete game. What are the elements of being an offensively skilled basketball player? Let's break it down, okay? Okay, so here are the different ways to score in the NBA. Okay, there's a 3-point shot. There's a 2-point shot. We'll call it the mid-range. There's finishing around the rim. Layups, right? So there's layups, 2-point shots, mid-rangers, and there's 3-point shots. I guess like Gilbert Arenas would have contention with it, but like that's, you know, that's the basics of like, you're a 3-level scorer if you can do all 3 at like a decent level, right? Okay. What is the literature version of being a 3-level scorer, you know? To me, like in terms of like fiction, like I think I don't know. I think like being a 3-level scorer is poetry, poetry, short stories, and like novels, right? I don't know. That's to me, like, I don't know, in my head, like to compare to basketball. Like if someone can do all 3, right? Like Sandra Cisneros can do all 3, right? Like her poetry is great. Her freaking short stories, One Holy Night, you know? Yeah, might be coming up in a later episode. Yeah, One Holy Night, Never Marry a Mexican, Eyes of Zapata, right? Like Woman Hollering Creek, the title story, right? It's like amazing, right? Her freaking novels, The House on Mango Street, and this one, Caramelo. It's like amazing. Her nonfiction pieces she writes, probably. It's like great. It's like a freaking 3-level, even 4-level scorer, man. In terms of literature, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's somewhat unfair to put poetry in terms of like one of the categories, you know, because like poetry and prose are just 2 different art forms entirely, basically. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just like mostly being tongue in cheek, you know. It's like something I've thought of for a while that I haven't gotten to express until now. But, you know, there are authors like that. Yeah, there are authors like that of just like, they're good at poetry and prose. Elizabeth Acevedo is my prime example. That's not Sandra Cisneros, of like good at poetry and prose, you know? Man, like Maya Angelou could be another one, right? It's like, yeah, like that's like a skill set, you know? And it's like, I've also like, haven't I like given like a thought that like, on one of these Let's Plays previously in the history of this Let's Play of like authors who write poetry in addition to writing prose, often like their prose is really good. You know, it's like, yeah, Sandra Cisneros, prime example. Yeah, Jessica Hagedorn like writes poetry as well as prose. Prime example, right? It's like, you know, man, Lois Ann Yamanaka writes poetry as well as prose. Prime example, right? It's like, yeah, it's like, dude, it's, you know, I don't know. It's just me like comparing literature to basketball here, man. I don't know. It's just, look, I'm trying to freaking get both audiences, you know. I don't know if I don't know if I've completely lost people by now, but yeah, again, to restate it, Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT, man. She's my GOAT, but she's the GOAT. Yeah, she's both, you know. Just, yeah. Okay, so being a tree level scorer in the NBA and being a tree level scorer in literature. What should it actually be? Because I don't think it should be novellas. I don't know. A novella is just a short novel. I mean, it's like, I mean, The House on Mango Street technically is a novella, I guess, if you want to call it that. But that's the thing, it's like, I was just reading a little bit of Caramelo today, right? It's just such a treat to read, you know, every time, even, you know. I think like part 2 is like a tiny bit slower at parts than freaking, you know, part 1, but it's like, I don't know, it's still just, you know, it's so great just like reading something that's a saga, you know, and that's like, so like the characters are just like, they're good, they go, yeah, they, you know, and that's the thing, it's like, she's not the first author to do that, obviously, right? You know, but it's like, I think like it's specifically with her form, right? Like, I don't think there's like giant sagas of freaking, you know, yeah, of like fantasy stories or even sci-fi stories where it's like every sentence is such a treat to read in terms of like the colorful description provided, or just like the joking found, right? Like the good one-liners of just like, you know, I don't know, it's like there's just so much, man. There's just so much of like the ways like that love is described, you know, like, yeah, I think there's like a moment where it's like there's a, I don't know, I'm somewhat, I'm butchering it, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, there's just a little bit of hope in the world, you know, there's just enough, man. There's just enough hope in the world to make you, you know, not hate it, something like that. Man, it's like, yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't think, like, to keep up freaking having just, like, on a sentence-by-sentence level, just, like, such, like, depth and, you know, yeah, such, you know, really fun, like, vibrant descriptions, and also to be really funny too, you know, and also, yeah, that's also the other element of it, of just like, it never loses the fact that it's a humorous, that, you know, Sandra Cisneros, the way her characters narrate a story is always humorous. I didn't even mention the fact until now that like part 2 is basically, yeah, so the main character technically is this girl, Celaya, right? And in part 2, she basically is given the task of like, okay, this part is called When I Was Dirt. And When I Was Dirt refers to before I was born. So this is all of the stuff that happened before I was born, right? That's what that part is concerned with. And then in the middle of like these chapters, some like these chapters open like, and some of them open with Celaya arguing with her grandmother over like how she's telling the story, right? Like, spoiler alert, but it's like she's arguing with her grandmother in these freaking chapters of like, no, that's not how it went, why are you freaking saying that? And then like Celaya's like, I have to embellish, it's called storytelling, you know, like all of there's the truth and then there's the lies, you know, like what I can't tell with the truth, I have to tell with lies, you know. And then freaking the grandmother's like, it's all lies, you know, it's like, you're not getting my story right. And then the, you know, Celaya's like, oh my god, grandmother, please stop, like, it's like, I'm trying to tell your story, man. It's like, why can't you just be quiet, man? Let me tell the story how I want to, right? And then there's just amazing, just such like a funny thing I read recently of like like this, I think like it's later on in the part, but it's like her grandmother just brings up, because like how it's shown in the book is that like the grandmother's voice is in bold and Celaya's voice is not bolded, right? So like whenever it's in bold, right, the text, right, it's her grandmother speaking, and it's just freaking Like, there's one chapter where she's like, can you just like add one little love scene between me and your grandfather, you know, just to show that freaking we loved each other, you know? And then she's like, yeah, I'll do it, you know? And then she's like, okay, fine, I'll freaking add in a love scene between you and grandfather or something. And then it just doesn't turn out like how the grandmother expects it. And she's like, why did I trust my story to you, man? It's just like, yeah, it's a conversation, right? It's an entire conversation of just like, I'm telling the story this way. Wait, no, actually, the grandmother is butting in. It's like, that's not how it went. It's like who, like, thinking of, yeah, it's just, yeah, Sandra Cisneros, she's the GOAT, man. Again, she's the GOAT. Just like, again, I like read again. Like, I'm being freaking honest to God here. Reading the first 50 pages and like reading just I don't know, just parts of the story in the beginning where like they first arrive in Mexico City, you know, and it's just like, I was thinking like, reading these sentences, reading these like chapters is like watching freaking Kevin Durant go off in the playoffs. It's like watching freaking an NBA player at the peak of their powers. It's like bucket after bucket after bucket, like any way you can imagine, right? It's like you hit a tree, you freaking hit a tough mid-range, you freaking finish at the rim, you get fouled and it's an and one. It's like every kind, like, my God, just putting up numbers, you know, with every freaking sentence I read. You know, I'm just like, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Just reading it, you know? It's like, I don't know. And it's like, it's made me laugh like multiple times, you know? There's a really good funny bit that I guess I won't get into, but yeah, it's like, it's just such a, I don't know. It can be really funny at times, right? And I'm not even like 70% of the way through the book. I think I'm probably like, just a little bit over 50%, or like almost at 60% of the way through the book, if I were to like crudely do some percentages, right? It's like, yeah, again, Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT, man. I think I spent like 20 something minutes on this, or something like that. It's like, yeah, just Caramelo, man. Is it going to be on my favorite books that I've read in 2025 list? It's like, gee, who knows? Oh man, I wonder where it'll be. But it's like, oh my God, dude. Yeah, I don't have anything else, right? Yeah, I talked about that like funny exchange, the exchange throughout part 2 of just like Salai and her grandmother just arguing. Oh man, oh God. Like, also the beginning part of just like it somewhat being a road trip and like the children arguing, right? Yeah, all of like Salaya and all of her brothers arguing and making fun of her, you know, and like all of them teasing each other and acting like a true like family. Yeah. And I guess also, if I want to go into another thing that's somewhat been a staple of mine, it's like, yeah, maybe you can translate this into film. Maybe it has been attempted, but it's like, come on, man. It's like you're missing just the beauty of freaking prose, you know? I don't know. I just like prose for prose's sake, you know? I think that's like, you know, I'm not trying to be an actual, like, you know, like elitist or like pretentious person by saying that, but I don't know. Again, it's like, yeah, I talked previously of just like how like I don't know how you can like translate Sandra Cisneros' short stories in a way that it can give you the exact same emotional depth, you know, like that, the exact same emotional like gut punch, you know, like, I don't know, just like when you read freaking One Holy Night, or Never Marry a Mexican, or Woman Hollering Creek, right? It's like visceral, like the emotions that hit you, right, in those short stories, right? And it's like, yeah, when I read at least the end of The House on Mango Street, when I read that last sentence, you know, for the ones I left behind, for the ones who cannot out, you know, spoiler alert, sorry. But yeah, it's like, I guess this is me somewhat explaining why, you know, The House on Mango Street is my favorite book of all time retroactively, because I was just like, yeah, you know, it's obvious why. It's like, yeah, this is somewhat why I just enjoy Sandra Cisneros as an author, right? It's just like her prose has humor, her descriptions are great, her dialogue is funny and sharp and great. Like, you know, just like she can, yeah, her dialogue just is fantastic. Her descriptions are fantastic. The way her characters narrate the story is fantastic. The way she plays around with freaking Spanish and English is fantastic. The way she can describe feelings from like a child and an adult point of view is fantastic, right? The way she can say these like simple things that like get at these ideas, you know, like for the ones who cannot out, right? It's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah, like again, she is one of the greatest authors to have ever written ever, right? In any language, you know? It's in Spanish and in English, right? It's like, yeah, it's like I would assume, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's just, it's just, yeah, yeah, again, if I'm stating this for the 50th time, Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT, man. She is the GOAT. Oh, man. I don't know. Yeah, I think I probably have to get to the list segment. Yeah, so, yeah. I guess this is just its own isolated segment. Caramelo, great book. Yeah, you should probably read it along with The House on Mango Street. Yeah, read The House on Mango Street first because it's only, like, 100 pages, if that, right? You can read The House on Mango Street in one sitting. Like, I feel like it if you just like sat down and read it front to back, it would literally take like half an hour. It literally would take like it literally would take just like, or yeah, maybe like twice as that. Maybe it would take an hour, right? It would certainly be less than watching like a film that's 2 hours, right? Just like sit like, I don't know. If anyone is watching this, and if anyone, even if you're not a book person, I challenge those people to freaking, you know, either, yeah, find a copy of it. Find a copy of the book, open it up, read it front to back, and just, you know, yeah. I don't know. It was an important book for me, and Sandra Cisneros, yeah, it's just, yeah, with me reading Caramelo, it's just like, it's proving a thing I already thought of and know, that like, she is just a master at this. She is just amazing at this. She's just a master at her craft. Like I think like one of the blurbs on the cover of the book that I have, right, is just like, this is Sandra Cisneros at her peak, right? Like this is like freaking peak Kevin Durant in the playoffs in like 2014 or something. This is 2023 Jokic putting up triple doubles. Like this is freaking, yeah, like this, like her writing, you know, in both The House on Mango Street and her short stories and her poetry and frickin' Caramelo. It's like, what else? What else do you need, man? Like what more things? I don't know. I guess it is unfair because like these are, yeah, well, to think about other authors in this context of being all around like a tree level score, as I put it, because it's like a short story is a different art form than a novel is a different art form than a poem. I know that inherently. Like I know that, you know, they're different things, you know. A short story is different from a novel. It's different from even a novella, I guess. It's different from even writing like a series of books, right? Where it's like book 1, book 2, book 3, you know. Yeah, I listened to All the Boys on audiobook, right? I know. It's like, but I don't know. I'm just like somewhat tongue-in-cheek joking about it, but it's like, I don't know. It is like a rare freaking breed, right? It is just like that. It is just the mark of just like, wow, you are really, really freaking talented. If you're able to freaking write short stories and novels and poetry and like have all three be like, no, this is like top freaking tier writing, right? Like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, I don't feel comfortable writing short stories because I like, you know, how like novels just give you the time, right? You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I started with short stories, yeah, but I don't know. I think like the thing I've learned is that like I don't write short stories that well. Like if you were to tell me to write a short story in like 2,000 words, I would really struggle with that. But I don't know. I think my sweet spot for a short story for me, writing one in the ones I've written so far, is like 7K words to like 10K words. You know, I really like that range. But that's not like a short story. You know, yeah, it's like it's different, right? And like poetry, I tried once for a semester in like community college and never really tried it again. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm really like 1.5, you know, and like the one is just like I've only written like 2 almost 3 books, you know. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, yeah, in terms of like things I've done. But yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other authors that are like, yeah, novels, short stories, and poetry, you know. I guess maybe there is like the quadruple thread of just like I write plays too. But like I don't know if Arthur Miller has written poetry or a novel or any short story, you know? Like I think he's purely drama. But yeah, I guess Shakespeare had sonnets, you know? Like I'm trying to think of like all of literature. All of freaking literature, man. Like again, I'm not an English major, but yeah. The ones I'm really concerned about are just like the 20th century and beyond, right? Like I'm not necessarily did Jane Austen write poetry, you know? Jane Austen, you know, did Jane Austen write short fiction, you know? Did Bronte sisters write short fiction? Charles Dickens wrote short stories, I think, you know, but I don't know if he wrote poetry though. Yeah, it's hard to find like that. Yeah, even in like YA, right? Like Elizabeth Acevedo has poetry and novels, right? But it's like, yeah, short stories. I don't know if she's done that. Nina LaCour has written short stories and novels, right? I don't know if Nina LaCour has written poetry. I'm just like, I'm sorry for doing this. I'm sorry for putting authors up against an unfair standard, right? It's okay to not do all the things, right? It's okay to only be a novelist. It's okay to only write poetry. It's okay to only frickin' write short stories, although that's kind of a rare breed these days. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and that's the thing, like there's always like the like your one, you know, is better, but I don't know. I truly think with Sandra Cisneros is that like you could argue that, you know, like each one of those, her short stories, her poetry, and her novels are just of equal freaking quality. It's like as equal of quality as you can get, man, of just all being just amazing in their own separate ways, right? It's like, yeah. And I haven't even read much of her poetry anyway. I have her collections, yeah, My Wicked Ways and Loose Woman, but yeah. Oh man, anyways. That's really it, man. I have to get to the next segment, so yeah. I was gonna talk about briefly about My Dress Up Darling season 2 as like an anime to talk about. Oh man, yeah, okay, very very briefly. It's really good. It's one of the best anime romances of the 2020s. But for me personally, I'd put The Dangers in My Heart up there, above it, you know, slightly above it. But yeah, it's on my list of like favorite anime of all time, and I've expanded that list to 41 through 50. So I might get to that in a future episode. So yeah. Yeah. Do I need to explain My Dress Up Darling? It's about cosplaying. It's cool. Maureen, you know, she doesn't seem to have any flaws about her. But there's like other stories of like other cosplayers and like the joy that cosplaying can bring in your life and the passion and the love people have for cosplaying, and like, you know, even if like a romantic partner doesn't like cosplaying, that was one of the best freaking episodes, episode 3, with that subplot. That character in there. Yeah, it's a romance. It's not fully freaking developed at the end of season 2, but you know, it gets there. So yeah. Oh man, anyways, that's basically it for me calling, again, Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT. She's the GOAT. Yeah. Man. Anyways, here is the next segment of the video, which is the list segment. Okay, for the list segment I have today, I am wrapping up my favorite albums of all time. So this will be number 41 through 50. I don't need to give too much of a prelude. Yeah, the last list segment I'll do. Yeah, not the last segment I'll do this year, but yeah, but just of this type, of this category. So yeah, anyways, I guess without further ado, I should just get into it, right? Hopefully I will not spend too long on each album, right? Yeah, I hope to just keep this at like a nice lean, like half an hour. Okay. Let me try. Okay, number 41 on the list J Som, Everybody Works, from 2007, or nope, 10 years after that, 2017. 2017. This is the first album on my list that is on the latter half of the 2010s. And spoiler alert for the list, there is no album on this list currently that has came out in the 2020s. So yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about that recently, of just like what is the album from the 2020s I would most put on this list. But yeah, I haven't come up with a truly like good answer that's definitive yet. So yeah, I guess maybe if I expand it, yeah. But yeah. So J-Som is, surprisingly enough, a Filipino-American artist. Yeah, she is, I guess you could call it bedroom pop, right? That she, does. I think, like, yeah, I don't know if this is her first album, but yeah, I think the album before this album was called Turn Into, right? The first song on it, Peach Boy, is really freaking good. There's also really good songs on there like Ghost and Drown. But yeah, this album, yeah, I think it's on here just because it nails that kind of bedroom pop sound, that kind of mellowish indie rock sound that's also somewhat inspired by pop music. I think I read a Pitchfork interview where it's like the song Baby, like Baybee, was like somewhat inspired by Carly Rae Jepsen, yeah. And like there's like some interesting facts about her. I think she's from the Bay Area, so she's one of those Bay Area Filipinos. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, not one of the she's from the Bay Area. I don't know why I said it like that. That's not a judgmental thing at all. I don't know. Oh man, but anyways, yeah. My favorite songs from the album, the bus song. Just when the chorus comes in, like a chorus of people being like, I like the bus, but I like the bus. And I do, that's the thing, I do like the bus. I've listened to the bus song while riding the bus before, so yeah, that's just something, there's a song, A Billion Dogs, the ending of it kind of goes a little hard. Baby is like a pop, basically just a pop song, and then the song Everybody Works, which has this kind of deeper theme of just like, everybody works, like even like artists, that's the thing, like everybody freaking works, even if you're just like a indie musician who's like, that's the thing, like they quote work just as much as like a bus driver or someone who teaches. It's like valuing all types of work, which I kind of like. Oh man, yeah. I think it's like, doesn't that end like, you don't want to see me like this, probably not the only instance of me singing on this list segment, but yeah, it's just really good. And also it's just nice including, a Phil-Am artist on here. Maybe like Biba Doobie with her second album, Beatopia, could challenge for a spot on this list, but yeah, I don't know. I've heard, again, did I talk about this? I read something. I might have talked about this previously. I'm like, did I talk about this? And it's like, oh, I talked about it like 5 times before. But yeah, there's a tweet that basically said that like Biba Doobie, they believed that Biba Doobie should be as big as Olivia Rodrigo, right? And then I'm like, she somewhat is, right? I mean, Olivia Rodrigo is like, I think bigger numbers-wise, metrics-wise. But like, the thing that made me really think about that, the thought I had to add on to that tweet that I saw was like, J-Som should be as big as Biba Doobie, really. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she wants to be, but like, J-Som is just like, she makes really freaking good music, man. Like her style, her aesthetic, of like being, it's like really chill, indie, on her next album, which is called Anakko, which is Tagalog for my child. I had to Google that, don't judge me for that, but it has a really cool album cover. I guess Everybody Works has a cool album cover too, but like the album cover for Anakko is just a girl, like a a drawn image of a girl just kicking, and like it's like a sun. But yeah, like it has this song called Superbike, right? And yeah, Superbike, man, really freaking great song, man. Yeah, that's such a good song. It's on, I think that's the song I put as like the best of like the 2010s for me, because I have a playlist that's like best of each decade. Yeah, the best of 2010s and best of 2000s on my Spotify. I don't listen to them. I think it's usually just for record keeping or just for my personal taste. But yeah, like each of the 2000s and 2010s, each playlist has like over 120 songs on it. So yeah, that's J-Som. Yeah, is that everything I need to say? Anything else? You know, should she be as popular as Biba Doobie? I believe so, but does she want to be? I think she's just fine where she is. But yeah, man. Yeah. Anyways, number 42 on the list, the Go Team, Thunder Lightning Strike from 2004, man. What is the Go Team, man? What are they? What music do they make? They make fun music. They are fun. That's it. Not fun the band, not fun period, with Nate Ruess and Jack Antonoff pre-frickin' being D-pop producer. Maybe not D-pop producer, that's probably Dan Nigro now, but yeah. But like, it's like, yeah, the Go Team just make fun, mostly positive, like just upbeat frickin' music that's based a lot on freaking samples. You know, I compared, like, yeah, when I was listening to the Avalanches, I made a comparison in my head to the Go Team, but yeah, it's the same somewhat aesthetic, right? Of just like, they build these songs off of like samples, right? It's this guy called Ian Parton, yeah, who started this band, right? It wasn't a band initially, it was just him alone, like in his bedroom. Maybe like J-Som. Also, another fun fact about J-Som is that in like grade school or something, like the first instrument she played was the trumpet. And like, as someone who played trumpet in 6th grade, you know, I relate. But yeah, Ian Parton, like, I think he was just inspired by stuff like Motown music, right? Which is very apparent on a song like Lady Flash, which is one of the best songs on the album. Just like pretty much all around, yeah. Panther Dash, the opening track, is like, it just sounds like a car chase, like Hawaii 5-0 is like a sample, probably. The TV show, right? It's like old like children's cartoons, like maybe Sesame Street is actually literally sampled in there, right? Like children's programming, you know, like fun, like, yeah, Motown music, soul music, you know, yeah, just that, like, just very much just a product of just what this guy Ian Parton likes from a musical perspective, from like a, yeah, like digging through his childhood, or just like, yeah, channel surfing, basically. I think he described it as, of just like surfing through channels as a child, and just like the things he was inspired by, and like he put all those like inspirations into these songs, right? Bottle Rocket, Friendship Update, you know, Huddle Formation, yeah, really great songs. We just won't be defeated. Get it together, you know. I think it's Get It Together that has like the recorder in it, like the and then like at the end it has this like hip hop breakdown, you know, with like the turntable, and it's like you know, it's like somewhat hip hop, you know, but it's like I would assume it's still categorized as indie, you know. I don't know. It's also a fun thing to state that like Ian Parton at the time, he you know, was like very, very much like did not want to be another like landfill indie band. He wanted to go against the energy of like lads from the UK or England, just with guitars, you know, just all men in guitars, right? And like they have, if you hear a female voice on the album, it's this girl called Ninja, right? She's Nigerian. She comes from a Nigerian family, right? And it's like he picked her to be a rapper, basically. And I have heard their live performances are really like hyped up and energetic, right? Like they're like multiracial, like like men and women are in this like live band that performs the songs, it's just cool. It's just a fun freaking music, man. It's a fun freaking album. Basically, that's why it's there. All right, okay, next album on the list, number 43, J Dilla, Donuts. Oh man, I kind of want some donuts, man. J Dilla is a hip hop producer. This is like considered like one of the best hip hop albums of all time, right? And it doesn't really have any lyrics on it, like there's no actual like spoken like rapped lyrics on it, it's all just like samples, it's just this is just like the like example of just making music and tracks entirely from samples, right? And just I guess it's like I first discovered this album in 2020 and added it to my library digitally, but it wasn't until 2024, which was last year, that I truly like listened to all the tracks on it. There's like 30 tracks, songs like Waves, this first song, Working on It, oh man, Only One Can Win, Anti-American, Graffiti, my favorite tracks on it, my two favorite tracks on it, my favorite track on it, and one of the best, I think, songs of the 2000s for me is Time, the Donut of the Heart. I just love that loop, man. I just love that freaking loop. The just that, oh man, it's just so good, man. It just gives you that perfect nostalgic feeling, and I didn't get to that. I don't know. I remember in 2020 I just listened to 2 songs off of it. I'm just like, oh, there's no actual lyrics on it. But all of the songs are just a minute. Or the longest song I think Working on It is 3 minutes, but it's just 2 minutes, in length, usually 1 to 2 minutes. Some songs are just 36 seconds, but the other song I really like from the album is a song called Dilla Says Go. And just this woman singing It's All Right. Oh man, it's just really good. I don't know. It's just I think it's not really an album where it's track by track, but I think it's supposed to be experienced as a whole. You're supposed to not listen to one track stop. You're supposed to just listen. I'd assume it's this is a vinyl album, right? You play it, I think for a vinyl release it's on Tree freaking 4 45-inch records or something like that. I don't know, I'm not a vinyl person, but it's you're supposed to listen to all of the songs as one continuous piece, right? But usually when I was listening to it last year, I just listened to Time, the Donut of the Heart whenever I listened to it. So it's a good album. Another hip hop album I was able to include on here. It's from 2006, by the way. And also, I guess it's pretty known about this. I'm just restating information, but certain freaking people do for their freaking essays where they freaking point freaking red lines and connect things. It's okay. But it's J Dilla, he was sick, right? And he made this basically from his hospital bed, and he died, and it was released just a month or something, very close to his death, right, in 2006. So that's such a an interesting aspect of this, of just he had this was it the sampler, the Mackay MPC, he just had that freaking sampler just at his bedside, in the hospital, and he was just making the beats for this album, man. Is it his mother? His mother brought those his recording equipment or music making equipment with him to that hospital room, and he was just making those beats at his hospital bed, man. I don't know, that there's something very sad about that, but also very damn, that's actually I don't know, it is a a very interesting fact to note about this album, so oh man, making my way through. Look at that, all the way. I already talked about 3 albums. Okay, number 44, Soccer Mommy, Clean. Not her first project she released, but yeah, just basically her actual like debut album. Soccer Mommy is Sophie Allison. Yeah, and I guess like I forgot to mention, yeah, J-Som's real name, government name, is Melina Duterte. No relation, by the way. Yeah. And yeah, Soccer Mommy's real name is Sophie Allison, right? And I think she's from Tennessee. Yeah. I don't know. I think like this album is important. I mean I really just this like type of indie rock I really like, of just like very kind of smooth, it just very the guitars on it sound nice. Yeah. I guess if I were to pick out songs from it that I really enjoy, Your Dog. I remember hearing Your Dog in 2018. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, dude. Yeah, the bass line, man. Just the bass line on that is really freaking good. And just like how it starts with just like her singing, I don't wanna be your effing dog. Sorry, I had to censor myself. But yeah, it's just, the way she sings, just very melodic, like I would assume that's an appeal to Soccer Mommy as a whole in her music, just like her singing just about just general, just like I would assume just being a teenager dealing with these things. The song Cool. She's so cool. I wanna be that cool. I think she sings that. Scorpio Rising, the big like kind of song at the end of near the end of the album. Last Girl. Flaw. Man, Skin, but really Your Dog. Your Dog is like, also like Still Clean too. It's just, just all around, it's just a really strong album, I don't know what more else I could say about it. I guess it's just interesting for me on this list is that the latest year I have on this list is 2018 in terms of like the year the albums on here got released. So and the next album on here, I guess I probably should talk about it in tandem, is number 45, Snail Mail, Lush, which also came out in 2018. So this was not, again, Snail Mail, Lindsay Jordan, if you want to use her government name. Also another female indie rock singer-songwriter with a guitar. Oh, man. She released music previously, but this is her like actual like first album. Favorite songs off of this, Pristine. Did I talk about this? I listened to the song Pristine the night before I graduated high school. And I think it had a profound effect on me. I think that's mostly why this is on the list, right? This album is on the list is because of that experience of just listening to Pristine and being like, this is a freaking song, man. Like this is an amazing song. Oh, man. I think I remember like, the day after, right? I remember just having that song in my head and like we were like rehearsing for graduation. My high school graduation. Man. It's like, in the morning, right? I don't know. It's just, really, like the mixture of melancholy and kind of like teenage like angst and kind of wonder that comes along of just like falling in love, right? And for Lindsay Jordan is falling in love with another girl. But like also I would assume like I found a way to also freaking somewhat freaking maybe related to experiences or maybe experiences I had or didn't have in high school. I don't know. That might be revealing too much. But anyways, Pristine, great song. One of the best songs of the 2010s. You could also say that about Soccer Mommy with Your Dog. Just this brand. I think like I just have these albums together because they are similar to me, but they each have their own strengths, right? I think with Snail Mail, it's more, just like the guitar work on these songs, just like the overall, like it feels like the songs wash over you, like Pristine and Heat Wave, right? And like Yeah, and like speaking terms, yeah, like those songs, those 3 songs to me are just like big, like freaking like songs that just like, yeah, give you this like feeling, right? And I think like Soccer Mommy is more just like, it's just, I don't know, it's hard like trying to like parse out these differences because I like both albums, you know. I just, one has to be ahead of the other. I guess I can't make it a tie, but yeah. It's just like, yeah, both of the songs like are, both of these albums are really, really good, you know. Just because something is on the 40s of my list doesn't mean it's not good. It's that these are the top 50 of albums I have freaking listened to in my life as of now, you know. It's like, yeah, so yeah, both Soccer Mommy and Snail Mail. I guess it's me talking about them together. Yeah, anything interesting about Snail Mail I can talk about? Yeah, I guess like, yeah, her second album. I guess if I want to talk about her second album, since it's not on this list, yeah, it's called Valentine, you know, released in 2021. It was weird because it's like, yeah, these both came out in 2018, but I feel like specifically with Snail Mail, yeah, I think it's because like Soccer Mommy released another album in 2020, and overall, like Sophie, like Soccer Mommy has been more prolific than Snail Mail. But like, yeah, it took like 3 years for Snail Mail to release, you know, or to Lindsay to release another album, right? But it's not, actually wasn't that long, right? It was like, it came out like November of 2021, right? Yeah. One thing I want to talk about with Valentine, the album, is that like, dude, freaking the second song on there, Ben Franklin, like it has the great line of like, got money, I don't care about sex. It's like, I guess, okay, I'll believe you. But like, just like, yeah, just that guitar part, oh my god, that guitar freaking part, man. Oh my god, dude, that, it's just like, oh my god, whatever that guitar part is, like, oh my god, that just hits so damn good, man. Whenever I listen to it, I really should listen to it more often, but yeah. Yeah, it just feels like that, like, Snail Mail, yeah, I think, like, she was, like, touring a lot more, right? Like, Lindsay was just touring and touring and touring. It seems that that was the only thing she was doing for, like, the entirety of 2018 and 2019, right? And like, I would assume the pandemic gave her a break, but yeah, I don't know. I remember being on the India subreddit and just like seeing like, she's on tour again. It's like, like she's just a teenager, man. Yeah, both of them are, yeah. Sophie from of Soccer Mommy is a little bit older, but yeah, I think like Lindsay was born in like 1998 or 99, and like Sophie is born in end of 1997. So yeah, like they were both like 20, like making when these albums got released, you know, or 19, yeah, like around that age. So yeah. Those were those 2 albums together. So yeah, number 46, Foster the People. Torchids, their first album, right? Yeah, this is from 2011. It's just good indie pop music. Some might say not the Oasis song, but some might say that MGMT with Oracular Spectacular like set the blueprint for indie pop music of the next like few years to sound like this. And like there's a lot of people who don't like this type of Foster the People, like kind of frickin' or like Cage the Elephant type, but it's like, I don't know, like to me we should really need to distinguish like these blank bands. Like Walk the Moon, that's a good band. Like they make good music, you know, for the most part they make good music. You cannot deny Anna Sun and frickin' Tightrope, man. Like even if you don't like the rest of the album, it's like, come on, man, like you dislike Anna Sun, you dislike Tightrope. Yeah, I don't know about Cage the Elephant, you know. I think like Ain't No Rest for the Wicked was like in the Borderlands trailer. But like, I don't know. But yeah, like, yeah, Foster the People, I like this album. Yeah, it's just like beyond that freaking song. Like Helena Beat, you know, which is secretly, not secretly, but like it's not on the like overtly about it, but yeah, I think it's about the frontman Adam Foster dealing with depression, right? It's like when you can't get out of bed, something, yeah, like that. Helena Beat is just like starts it off like that's kind of like the musical tone of the album, not the next track after that, Pumped Up Kicks. But yeah, like, yeah, the song after Pumped Up Kicks, you know, call it what you want, you know, the piano part, yeah, well, the keyboard part of it, it's like, That's the one thing I noticed when I first listened to this back in like 2019, is that it's driven with like synths and keys, and like I never really heard like an indie album that was driven like that, you know? I feel like it was just my introduction of like, wow, indie pop exists. Like I listened to Churches before, right, in 2018, but I don't know. This was like the first time I was like, oh wow, like this is really driven through like the keyboards rather than like guitars or anything like that, you know? Yeah, Call It What You Want, Houdini, I Would Do Anything For You, you know, Life on the Nickel, Warrant, you know, it's like, yeah, it's just all around, it's just really freaking good, you know, catchy freaking indie pop music, you know. Some might say it's annoying, some might say Adam Foster has, you know, kind of sounds annoying, but also, you know, I love Passion Pit, so yeah, I mean, that's not really that much of a criticism for me, you know. Maybe like freaking like Don't Stop, Color on the Walls, you know, is tiny, is like the worst of that, of just like just like Adam Foster doing that, but I don't know. Call It What You Want doesn't have that really, right? Yeah, it has a little bit of it, but yeah, Call It What You Want and Houdini, man. Yeah, just, yeah, the two, I think, like, best tracks on the album for me. So yeah, that was basically Foster the People, yeah. That's basically that album. Ooh, and I have a run of albums to get to here that can close this out. Oh, man. Number 47, The Wombats, A Guide to Love, Loss, and Desperation. Oh, God. This is from 2007. It's their first album. It's like, yeah. I mean, come on. This is landfill indie. Yeah, along with The Kooks' first album. This is landfill indie at its peak. But like the Kooks were different from the Wombats, you know? Like this is definitely like pop freaking leaning, you know? Like the Wombats, I talked about it in previous episodes, you know? With songs like Tokyo, Vampires and Wolves in like 1996 and Greek Tragedy, right? It's like they leaned into being pop, you know? They leaned into like, oh yeah, no, we make like melodic, like pop focused kind of songs, you know? But yeah, like this album was like post-punk, but it had like a pop edge to it, you know? It like was like poppy post-punk, you know? Which is really good, yeah. Like, yeah, the best song on the album, in my opinion, Moving to New York, you know? I'm moving to New York because I've got problems with my sleep. Yeah, I guess Christmas came early. Christmas came early for me. Yeah, I don't know. And like Kill the Director. This is no Bridget Jones. School uniforms, about freaking like being ashamed of like wearing a school uniform, or like it's like I just noticed just like Matt Murphy, the front man, just noticing girls' freaking skirts, you know. Of just like, wow, puberty, man. Yeah, a lot of it is just being young and like puberty and like memories of freaking secondary school, I think, right? Memories of like freaking being like an adolescent freaking British teenager and yeah, a British teenager during like, I would assume the early mid 2000s, right? They weren't that, I would assume they were just in their 20s when they put this out, but yeah, I would assume it's based off of their teenage years, a lot of the songs, like Backfire at the Disco or freaking Lost in the Post, yeah. Go to Santa Go, you know, and like a song literally called Let's Dance to Joy Division. Like I don't know if it's that ironic to dance to Joy Division, but yeah, they got a boys choir of it to sing along with it. And like, yeah, the Wombats, if you want to know what part of England they're from specifically, they're from Liverpool. And like, it's, you know, interesting how like Matthew Murphy can like be from Liverpool and like not have like that accent come up in his singing, you know? It's like maybe he's not actually from Liverpool. Yeah, there's like one of their members is from Norway, I think. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like they live in different places. I think Matthew Murphy lives in Los Angeles now, and like if you listen to the album Glitterbug, right, it's like the songs are based off of like him living in LA, I guess, like his relationships around around living in LA. So yeah, it's just good. It's just pop. Yeah, it's like landfill post-punk freaking revival, just like guitar driven indie rock, but just with a pop edge, especially with songs like Lost in the Post and freaking, yeah. Man, yeah, and yeah, moving to New York even, yeah, it's just really nice, yeah. Man, anyways, number 47. No, again, come on, man, messing this up. Number 48 on the list. Tegan and Sara, Dakan, also from 2007. Why is this on the list? Oh, man. Yeah, I guess this is the first time I'm truly talking about Tegan and Sara from like a musical standpoint, you know? Like I think I talked a little bit about their music when I talked about high school, their memoir that I really enjoyed. And I also read the graphic novel, Junior High, which is like a fictitious version of themselves. But yeah, what about their music? What kind of music do Tegan and Sara make? Have I even stated that or talked about that previously? Oh man, they make music that soundtracks coffee shops. in this era of Tegan and Sara, yeah, in this era of their careers, they make frickin' music that soundtracked Grey's Anatomy. That's what they did. I mean, I think that was more their previous album before this one. Yeah, their previous album before this one was called So Jealous, right? It has a song called Walking with a Ghost on it. I think Jack White covered it, yeah, and it made it more popular, yeah. It also has songs called like, yeah, Where Does the Good Go? I Bet It Stung. Like, I think that's my favorite song from So Jealous. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, Dakan, yeah, it came out 3 years after, you know. The cover is interesting. I think it's like supposed to like be like I think it's supposed to be inspired by religious texts. I don't know, something like, I don't know. But yeah, my favorite songs on Dakan, literally the title track, Dakan. Yeah, I think this is their best song, you know? Like, they made a lot of different, like, music throughout their career, you know? Their latest album, yeah, Crybaby, is, like, somewhat hyper pop. You know, I really like the song I Can't Grow Up. Yeah, the first song. Yeah, that's a really good song. But yeah. Yeah, Dakan on Dakan is probably my favorite song Tegan and Sara, you know, have made, you know. If anyone needs a refresher, they're two sisters who are twins and they're both lesbians. They're both gay. And they make that very apparent, right? In like the way they talk and like dress and like just are, you know. Like, I think they really are just gay icons, you know. They just are, you know. And yeah, and that's like, I don't think they necessarily, you know, got enough credit for it at the time of just like being in the 2000s and just like they were just two like you know, queer women just like being like making like in indie music, you know, which was not very queer, right? Yeah, other songs that I really enjoyed from the album, yeah. I was 19. Back in Your Head, yeah. Build a wall of books between us in our beds. I just want back in your head. Okay, I should not have sang that, but yeah, I love the keyboard. I love the freaking piano part in that. Yeah, just like, yeah. This is also produced by Chris Walla, who was in the band Def Cab for Cutie for a time, right? I think around this time he was still in Def Cab for Cutie. Yeah. I think yeah, that's basically it. There's a really good like video, behind the scenes videos of him producing the album, and just like, yeah, any freaking footage of like Tegan and Sara when they're not singing is also really gold, because they're just really freaking funny people. Yeah, I don't know, I guess it's just like, it's more interesting to talk about stuff that isn't their music with them rather than their music. But yeah, what are just the musical things if I were to talk about it with them? Oh man, the guitar of the Con, you know, just like the breakdown of it, of like the vocal, yeah, like the bridge, nobody, just saying nobody over and over again. You know. The last song, Call It Off, right? Yeah, Call It Off, really good, you know. Yeah, the production on it's really nice, you know. It just has this nice, like, distinct, like, this is a mid-2000s indie album kind of vibe to it, you know. It's like, yeah, like the Con is probably the most they've ever like rocked out on a song. Oh man, yeah. Man, I don't remember much about like the opening track. Yeah, I was married. Yeah, but like, yeah, hop a plane. You know, yeah, hop a plane has a very fast like up and frickin' yeah beat to it. I'm trying to think of other songs from the album that I really enjoy. Floor Plan, I think. Yeah. Burn It Down. Yeah, Burn It Down. You know, and also like I think I'm somewhat. Yeah, I know that. Like Back in Your Head is a song that Sarah wrote, and like Decon is a song that Tegan wrote. But it's like you can tell, yeah, like just listening to them in interviews, you can tell like Tegan and Sarah apart mostly through their voice, you know? And also like eventually they had different hairstyles, right? But it's like, yeah, Sarah I think like sings in this like higher kind of register than Tegan, I think. But it's like, yeah, that's basically how you can tell them apart. But I don't know the exact specifics. I'm not that big a fan of them. But even though I really enjoy a lot of the songs they put out, right? Yeah, of just like which exact songs Sarah wrote and which exact songs Tegan wrote. Yeah, but like Sarah wrote Sarah wrote Walking with a Ghost, I think, right? Yeah, that one I could obviously hear, you know. Some things you can hear, sometimes it's like a bit harder for me to hear, but yeah. That's basically, yeah. Tegan and Sarah, man, yeah. I guess. Oh man, there's also a documentary, yeah, like Tegan was catfished for a time, right? Of just someone was like yeah, there's a Hulu documentary about it of just like someone who was using her identity, you know. Oh man. But I guess I have to get to the last two albums on this list, man. Okay. Number 49. Ooh. We're cooking, man. Modern Baseball. You're gonna miss it all from 2014. Why is this album on this list? Because of the song Your Graduation. Done. Next. Yeah, it's just, yeah, emo revival, man. Or no, like in terms of like this is fourth wave emo, which means a bunch of albums that came out in like the early to mid 2010s, you know. Other albums like that fit into this era, like The Hotelier, A Home Like No Place Is There, The World Is a Beautiful Place and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die. Dude, what's that album called? Oh yeah, Whenever If Ever, right? Foxing, The Albatross, I think they're considered a fourth wave emo band, but yeah. Modern Baseball, I feel like we're my favorite fourth wave emo band. Or maybe it might be a little big league now, but yeah. It kind of is cheating if you have like a female singer though, right? Same thing with Hop Along, right? Like technically Hop Along is a fourth wave emo band, but it's like, come on. Like a female singer in an emo band, that's cheating, man. Just like the same thing with Paramore. It's like obviously, you know, come on. But yeah, Brendan Lukens, right, is the lead singer, right? And like just like the way he sings of just being like, yeah, I don't really care, but like, you know, I'm just, you know, just like I think like I don't know. I think one of the opening track is called like what, Fine Great? Yeah, Fine Great, and then like I think in the middle of that, he's just like, yeah, about that. just being like, yeah, I'm just so over it, you know, in like his delivery of the vocals of the songs, right? And just the songs are just about being emo, just relationships that don't work out, like having like parties and eating pizza and getting drunk over girls that you freaking dated and exes that you freaking miss, right? And it's like, oh, I miss this girl, right? Yeah, and Your Graduation is exactly that. It's about freaking, you know, yeah, like it's about an ex, I would assume, right? It's about just that, and I think Your Graduation is probably the best song, single best song to come out of this time. Yeah, and I just really like Modern Baseball, man. They really should reunite, man. Like a bunch of these other bands from this era have already reunited, like Algernon frickin' Caldwalder, you know? If they can reunite and put out another album even, which they did just like a month ago or a few weeks ago, it's like, come on, man. It's like, why? Yeah, I mean, really, like, the other guy in the band, like, who actually had, like, songs where he sang on, songs where he sang on in their next album, Holy Ghost, right? Yeah, the song Wedding Singer from that album, really freaking good, you know? I think that's probably one of the best modern baseball songs, along with Your Graduation. But yeah, then like it's like, yeah, I think like if you really the story of it somewhat is that like Brendan Lukens was like going through like a big like strong bout of depression at the time, right? And he was not in like a good place. He was in a pretty dark place mental health wise. So like, you know, Jake Ewald, the other guy in the band, like was singing the songs, and then like there's a song called Coding D's to Lukens, you know, and then like he just takes over and like the latter half of the album and there's like songs in the latter half called like Apple Cider I Don't Mind, right? And the last song on that album, Holy Ghost, is just called Just Another Face. And it's very, like, uplifting. It's like, look, you're not alone, man. It's like your mental health issues, you know, like you're not alone in dealing with them, you know? Yeah. Oh, man. But that's basically why I like modern baseball. Yeah. Just the whole overall vibe of it. You know, musically, is there anything too special about it? No, it's just general, just like indie rock, like pop punk, like leaning freaking rock music. But yeah, it's just good. It's just really good, you know? It's simple, you know? They were just the best band purely just because of just like they were just emo, you know? Maybe there were bands that were more emo than them, but just like they probably did it in the most like, you know, direct way, you know, that I felt like. But yeah. Oh man, number 50 and the final album on this list for now, Charlie XCX. Not that album, Sucker from 2014. Oh man, yeah, freaking, you think I'm gonna put that freaking album onto the? Come on, man, come on, Sucker, man, dude, come on. Like this album is filled with bangers, man. Sucker, first of all, Break the Rules, London Queen, yeah, London Queen, man, freaking, I don't know, man. To me, London Queen, I don't know. I know it's like, it's weird. It's kind of like, oh, I'm choosing the album that she kind of wants to disown anyway, because like she wrote a lot of the songs when she was like freaking literally a teenager. But it's like, look, like they're bangers, man. They're bangers. That's the thing. Like the Hayley Williams, you know, tried to disown Misery Business, but you know, look, you couldn't deny that it was a banger, you know? That's the thing. I think Paramore's best album is Riot, you know, or my favorite Paramore album. I think it's probably Brand New Eyes, but it's like, yeah, again, even still with that, Hayley Williams wrote it as a teenager, you know? I don't know. And like, it's like Boom Clap, you know, it's like, oh, it was used in The Fault in Our Stars. Well, it's like a song, a pop song used in a film, right? It's like, come on. It was also used in the film adaptation of The Duff, I recently came to know. But it was just like in a transition scene. It's like it just like faded into the background as like, you know, the main character and her friends were just friggin', yeah, Bianca and her friends were just like chilling in their house, you know? Yeah. But yeah, Sucker, it's just like the kind of pop music I like. It's like punk, spiked pop music, you know? It's pop music with just like, that's big and bombastic and has this like punky sort of edge to it. You hear that on like London Queen. Breaking Up, So Over You is really good, man. Yeah, Saw You at the Party with Everybody. Gold coin, yeah, I talked about Gold Coins. Yeah, the bonus tracks like Red Balloon, right? Yeah. Oh man, yeah, just really freaking good freaking pop music that's big and loud and in your face and direct, and I kind of like that, you know? And it's not that other album, okay? Get that out of your head, man. I listened to a few of the songs on that album, and it's like, yeah, look, man, look, I don't know. I honestly feel like I could yeah, I could listen to them even more, those songs in that new album like more times, and I'd be like, nah, I just prefer Sucker. Yeah, and that's why it's number 50 on this list. And I think that's wraps up mostly the list segment for this episode and this list segment overall for my favorite albums of all time. So yeah, that's basically the episode. Yeah. To recap the WNBA, you know, Napheesa Collier, you know, Cathy Engelbert, they're feuding. The WNBA players are feuding with ownership and management. Yeah. The Aces are up 2-0. Taylor Swift has cringy lyrics. Okay, sure. Sandra Cisneros is the GOAT. again. And also, yeah, here are my favorite albums of all time. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone freaking has any further thoughts on the albums I mentioned, I guess you can comment down below. What's your favorite Tegan and Sarah song, or the Wombat song, or Jay Dilla song, or freaking album, or Charlie XCX song on Sucker? I haven't even listened to Pop 2 or freaking Vroom Vroom or anything like that. I don't know. It's just like Sucker to me is just like that. This is the kind of pop music I want to listen to. You know, like that, The Naked and Famous, Passion Pit. It's like, make more of that, please. Just make more of that. Anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching this Minecraft episode. I will be sure to get this out within the next day. Yeah, literally, yeah, the next day as I'm recording this. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next episode.